I can't shake him. I'm hit. Where's our reinforcements?
A galaxy divided. Striking swiftly after the Battle of Geonosis, Count Dooku's droid army has seized control of the major hyperspace lanes, separating the Republic from the majority of its clone army. With few clones available, the Jedi Generals cannot gain a foothold in the Outer Rim as more and more planets choose to join Dooku's separatists.
I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, I was definitely watching Star Wars The Clone Wars, the animated series on TV. Now this show was very unique. It was seen as a kid's show, but it had some pretty dark sides to it. With the release of Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7 a year ago, we finally got introduced to a new animated series, and that would be called The Bad Batch.
But this is the journey of an unlikely few. Meet the Bad Batch.
You ready for this?
Hunter, the leader.
In and out, quickly and quietly.
Wrecker, the brawler.
I'm missing all the action!
Tech, the specialist.
This is not a standard military operation.
Echo, the hacker.
This great plan of yours is looking really lousy about now.
And Crosshair, the marksman.
Go away.
In the first episode, we're introduced to a new character, a female clone called Omega. Although she's small, she proves herself to be useful and is a unique character in her own way. Towards the end of the episode, the Bad Batch plan an escape to Kamino, but are pursued by Crosshair, who ultimately betrayed them. However, as Crosshair is about to shoot Hunter in the head, Omega comes to the rescue. I recommend this series to other Star Wars fans who have a good feel in the plot of the overall Star Wars universe. Now all we have to do is just wait for the second episode, and so on.
There's more guys. There's an entire because Fortnite. Oh. Win the game.
On March 13th, 2021, Chapter 2 Season 6 of Fortnite had released, starting off with a huge season event, the Zero Crisis, where we watched the map change through time into the primal age of Fortnite, bringing us the crafting system, which reintroduced bows and introduced a brand new makeshift and primal weapons. All of these changes leaving a huge mark on not only casual but competitive gameplay as the season would go on, with serious meta changes and issues with the loot. Alongside the loot pool, the map had changed as well, bringing us the Spire and its primal zones containing animals and bosses that offer good loot at the risk of dying off. To start off with the pros, this season made huge collabs with DC once again, with Batman and the Teen Titans coming to the Fortnite universe, and was even able to get Neymar Jr., the pro soccer player, into the game, which definitely turned heads. Alongside collabs, fresh new skins like the Knights of the Food Court and two Meowscles made their way into the game. In terms of weapons, the Stink, Flame, Shockwave, Grenade, Unstable, and Grappler bows replaced snipers and proved to be a huge part of combat this season. Vehicle augments also made their big break with off-road tires coming to the game, putting cars even closer to becoming the best vehicle in the game right now. Primal weapons shook up the meta with their insane power, rivaling classic weapons like the pump shotgun and the Scar, which give the game a freshness, in my opinion. And finally, the Recycler, a junk cannon that harvests builds for ammo. The map was also set back to the Primal Age, giving us new POIs like Bony Burbs and the aforementioned Primal Zone, which all offer good loot, rotation, and action right from the drop. Compared to the last season, content really started to flow, especially with weekly updates making a return. For the cons of this season, it would have to be the start. Drop rates for any weapons that were not makeshift were extremely low, leaving you to roam the map for better loot just to miss out on all the action. Alongside that, the animals in the Primal Zone are really lame. They were a selling point of the season with the ability to tame them instead of just hunt them, but 100% of the time, you end up doing better doing the latter, especially in the beginning of the season with its extremely poor drop rates. Another gripe of this season would have to be the overlooked weapons like the jump boots and the Recycler. which are obsolete compared to bows. Bows offer so much better combat ability and mobility. Overall, the season is pretty good. With Epic returning to weekly updates and Epic really starting to take care of this season compared to the last couple of seasons with their lack of updates and lack of content overall, I found this season really enjoyable to play, especially just in solos, which I have not had that experience in a while. And in terms of cosmetics, this season hasn't poured out collabs like last season, and it hasn't only stuck to doing OCs, which isn't bad. Original creations are fine, but this season definitely has a bit of diversity for whether you like collabs or just original content more. I would definitely give this season out a try before it's over. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. This is garbage.
It's on fire.
There's matting up here. Knocked him.
Nice. Other guy.
Let's go.
Finally.
This chair has a very unique design, and this design you can see in the back here. This chair looks like no other chair, and especially like no other gaming chair. The closest thing you'd think this would be is an office chair. And that's really where this chair comes from. This chair is really an office chair with some gaming features. Those features don't really make up for anything. I don't even think I would pay the same price as I did for this chair, which was $300. But still, I'm gonna sit down right now, and it's not really that comfortable. It's okay, you know, if you're just typing up an assignment or something, but anything past that, it's utterly useless. So, honestly, of the two chairs, I think that this chair is probably going to be the winner. Not only because it's cheaper, but it's cheaper, more comfortable, and more practical. See, with this chair, you have the ability to do something that that chair can barely do. Recline. This chair reclines. The other chair simply does not. And honestly, it's just more comfortable. I don't sit down wishing that I didn't have to sit down. Whereas this chair, you're sitting down, you know, it's whatever. But this chair, the Herman Miller chair, they made some claim that it felt like you were standing, and honestly, I don't know where they got that from, because it just feels like I'm sitting on a pin.
Boys, we need to talk. Call of Duty Cold War and Warzone are in the gutter right now. Let me explain. Activision, the main company behind the COD franchise, is mainly focused on Warzone. That's what they said to shareholders back in March when questioned why Cold War is such a flop compared to Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare in 2019 made more than $600 million in sales during its first 3 days, while Cold War earned $678 million in its first month. Money is still coming in, and still a success, but Activision sees it as a failure because they didn't do better than the game the year before. Why? It's because that's all Activision cares about, money. We see this from the lackluster gameplay and how it is boring, and how the lack of content we see going into Cold War. Now let's talk about Warzone. Activision refuses to make an anti-cheat. With all the metas and broken guns that do way too much damage, coincidentally on the newly released guns to encourage people to play their bad games, both Modern Warfare and Cold War. You can't go into a game of Warzone and not be pinned up against someone in a house camping in a corner with a rose skin, or using the new meta weapons like the AUG from Cold War and the really newly released Tarkov pistols that were quote-unquote nerfed, but are still too overpowered and you can get one burst. No balance, no anti-cheat, and when their accounts just get banned and they can just make another in 2 minutes, what's the point of the ban in the first place? The game is on fire, and getting this gameplay you see on screen was painful to play. I sat down and took 3 hours of my time playing both of these games, and let me tell you, I didn't have fun. There's no fun. It's boring. Now let's speak to the players that are just as frustrated as I am.
It's just not that fun anymore. You know, it was a trend over the summer, and it's kind of fallen off.
Well, I really like the multiplayer of Coldwar. I like how it's fast paced and everything. But Warzone, as of right now, it kind of just like died down for me.
Well, just like every fad, it'll die out. You know, kids will gravitate towards it, and then it'll come to a point where so many people will play it that it just doesn't become that popular anymore. It doesn't become that unique, and it loses its value. Well, the nostalgia factor. I've been playing it since I was a kid, so I really enjoy that. Brings back good memories of playing when I was very little.
I think I stayed for this Call of Duty specifically because of the way it like plays. I really like how it feels, and I really like enjoying listening to the to people argue. That's the best part when they start arguing and like search and destroy. That's funny.
Looking forward to Battlefield because it has that kind of same gameplay, but it could bring something new to the table. I'm excited to see what they can do this year.
Well, I'm really looking forward for Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite's going to be free. The multiplayer is going to be free for like Xbox and PC, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be crossplay. So Halo Infinite could be like the rise of Fortnite back in like 2017. So I mean, I think if Halo does well, it can get that shot. So I'm really looking forward to Halo Infinite for sure.
Currently, Cold War's player base is currently divided upon if the game is good or not. Let me know what you guys think about Cold War in the comments below. Anyways, this is Gavin Deaking signing off. Also, side note, it's currently 1:26 a.m. So I don't know. Just please, Meltz, give me a good grade.
Escape from Tarkov is a newer first-person shooter title from the company Battlestate Games. In this game, which is set in a dystopian future in the Russian city of Tarkov, it is a city that has fallen into complete lawlessness and anarchy. As a former military member, your only goal in this game is to escape from Tarkov, alive. Escape from Tarkov is a very unique game because while it is a first-person shooter title and is somewhat similar to games like Call of Duty or Battlefield, it is a much more hardcore shooter and offers a much more realistic experience for players. The game places a heavy focus on realism and things like shot placement on your enemies rather than just being the first person to react in a firefight. However, an added twist to this game is that when you die, you lose everything. Escape from Tarkov also offers fast-paced and intense gameplay in a variety of environments throughout its numerous maps. It also forces you to keep your wits about you because failing to check a corner or forgetting to listen to footsteps in a dark alley, it might lead to your doom. Included in this selection are also a variety of environmental factors for when you play the game, such as weather conditions like rain and wind, or being able to go on raids during night for, There is also a very in-depth weapon customization and inventory system in this game. You can customize your weapon for any situation you may need, and any environment you may be fighting in. The inventory management in the game also allows for a system of balance, so players don't have too many powerful items, and still have an incentive to go out and get more stuff. Recently, the developers of this game have also added a new hideout feature, in which you can create and maintain your own survival bunker, which allows you to get a lot of benefits and make more stuff in the game. Tarkov is a game that is generally best suited to be played rather regularly by players, as it rewards skill and patience in the game. However, this may be a downside to some people, as it's not like Call of Duty where you can just jump into a match, and some people might not like this, but ultimately, when you do put the time to the game, it rewards you for it. But like any other game out there are a few issues, such as hackers and cheaters being prominent in the game at some points, and lag being a big issue, with servers sometimes aren't that great. However, Waldwick Games is working diligently to fix this, and a lot of the problems have been remedied, and most of the cheaters are banned instantly once they're found out. Overall, as players have been playing this game for over 2 years now, it's great to see that people are finally starting to really appreciate this game and starting to gain a wider following, as it allows the developers to make the game even better than it already is, and hopefully gain even more players in the future, which is good. Hopefully you can escape from it.